And can I have parties re-announce?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Larry Bloomquist for the defense.
All right, and Mr. Bloomquist, you have begun your opening for the court?
Yes, Judge. I just want to clarify for the court. So my client was in a relationship with the victim. They had been in a lot of...
Make sure you speak loud enough for court order. Notice how the judge immediately establishes authority. This isn't just casual talk. Every word is on the record. One wrong phrase here can swing the entire case.
A dating relationship. That relationship had gone south. My client was very distraught about that. He went to her home to talk with her. I believe the evidence is going to show he didn't have any intent to commit any act of violence against her during that. She opens the door. She's very upset to see him. She starts to yell things.
He went to her home to talk with her. Though, now pause here. When defense attorney says he just wanted to talk, that's usually damage control. In legal terms, showing up uninvited and forcing entry already shifts the story from heartbreak to potential crime.
Get out of control. He does push his way into her apartment and does commit burglary. At some point, she's yelling and he falls on top of her. It's a really regrettable situation. I think the evidence is going to show that Mr. Lopez is taking full responsibility for the actions that he did that day. I believe he understands that what he did was wrong, and then also think the evidence is going to show that this is out of character for Mr. Lopez. And now I'll just call my first witness.
All right.
Can I call Emily Lopez?
All right, you'll need to step that way. VO, and here comes emotional pivot. Family testimony. Courts often bring in relatives not just for facts, but to paint a picture of who the defendant really is. Question is, will the jury see a caring brother or just someone making excuses?
You'll need to step that way.
She's just not like that. Yes, lady.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Amelia Lopez.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up so that I can hear.
Okay.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
And how are you related to Amelia Lopez?
He's my little brother.
Okay. And what's the age difference between the two of you?
3 years.
And is he the youngest child in your family?
Yes, sir.
And how many other siblings do you have?
One older brother.
And where did you grow up? What kind of kid was Amelia as you were growing up? I think you told me that he was kind of a quiet kid, but all the kids in school liked him. Can you describe that for the court?
Yeah, so he's very active at home. In school, he was more on the quiet side. But even then, even like that, the other students would always follow him around. And his
going through this program to become a firefighter, are you aware that that's no longer an option for him now because of the felony charge, felony arrest and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then was that something he really cared about, was trying to become a firefighter?
Yes, sir. He shouldn't have put her in that situation, but also he recognizes that we've been affected by it as well.
Okay.
You're aware that he was in a relationship with the victim in the case? Do you know how long they were dating?
Probably a year and a half.
Okay. Do you know if this was his first relationship ever with the girl?
Yes.
First one. Okay. Do you feel that men who do what he did to a woman should be properly punished? No further questions, Ron.
All right, thank you so much.
We'll call.
All right, before you call your next witness, because I like to get to the point. This is my understanding. You can come back. This is my understanding of the facts of this case. How old are you?
22.
22.
Yes, ma'am.
And at the time this happened in 2024, you're maybe 21.
Yes, sure.
All right. So what I'm hearing is that you were in a relationship with someone. Your sister testified that this is the first relationship he's ever heard. Does anyone doubt that this was his first relationship?
At this point, I don't have any doubts about that.
All right. So he's in a relationship with somebody for a year. And if my reading of the facts are incorrect, let me know. He's in a relationship with her for a year. They end up breaking up. According to police reports, they're either breaking up by text or phone. And then sometimes they would get back together, then break up again and get back together. He's in College Station. He finds out that during the relationship that maybe he wasn't the only person she was dating. I'll put it that way. So for some reason, this 21-year-old drives all the way from College Station to San Antonio. How long a drive is that?
About 3.5, 4 hours, Your Honor.
3 and 4 hours to talk to her about the breakup of their relationship, and he wants to get back together. So he comes back to the apartment. In the apartment is the complainant he was dating, the complainant's sister, and the sister's boyfriend. Now, they say that he knocks on the door or whatever.
She didn't know he had made a copy of the key during their relationship. VO, huge red flag here. Secretly making a copy of someone's key isn't just shady. It's legally considered unlawful entry. Imagine finding out your ex still had access to your home without permission. Chilling, right?
No, he enters the door with a key because he had made a copy of the key, which she didn't know he had made a copy of the key during their relationship. She sees him opening the door or whatever. He ends up entering the habitation, which anytime you enter a habitation without permission, any parts of your body or whatever, that becomes the burglary. And then he is talking to her, pushing her back to the room, want to talk about the breakup of the relationship or the facts that she maybe was untrue to him. They go into her bedroom. He's pushing her towards the bedroom. Police report, he wants to talk to her. In the report, she says that he has a pocket knife. The officer says, he questions him. He says, yes, I do own a pocket knife, but I never displayed a pocket knife. He never left the apartment. The police don't find a pocket knife in the apartment or a pocket knife on him. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, but there's.
But I mean, there's no pocket knife ever found. Did somebody find a pocket knife?
As an officer of the court, I can say I've spoken to the victim and her sister, and a pocket knife was found by them underneath the victim's bed in her bedroom.
All right. Did somebody call the police and say, hey, you didn't do a proper search? There's a pocket knife underneath the bed?
I believe they did that after the fact, no.
All right. So
Let me just add one thing to that, Judge. When he's asked, I think the police officer asked him because after the event, he sits on the stoop and waits for the police to be called. And then when the police officer...
So now let's get to the point. Notice how the judge cuts through the noise. All this back and forth about knives and reports. He's zeroing in on the real decision. Prison time or deferred adjudication. In other words, mercy or punishment.
I think he told him that he had the pocket knife always, that he uses it for his job, but he didn't use it in any way.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm just going by what the police
Yes,
report says. Police report says suspect, that's you, stated he did have a pocket knife on his person, but never displayed or brandished the weapon to the victim or other persons in the apartment. It should be documented that the pocket knife was not found on his person or inside the apartment. So now let's get to the point. State is silent, which means they want me to determine whether or not he should go to prison or whether or not he should be placed on deferred adjudication. Does the complainant want him in prison? Does anybody know?
She's right here, Your Honor.
You want to ask her?
Can go ask her.
And this is just something for me to consider. It's not saying I'll send him to prison. It's just for me to
No,
consider.
I understand, Judge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a reasonable...
Victim would like prison.
All right. All right. I'll hear the remaining of your witnesses.
Okay. Your Honor, I call Amelia Lopez Sr.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth or nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up because I have to hear and the court reporter has to hear. All right. If you'll state your name for the record.
Emilio Lopez.
All right. Defense, you may proceed.
And how are you related to this other young Amelia Lopez?
It's a good son and trying to make a good life.
Okay. And where did Amelia grow up? What city did he grow up in?
Broadview?
Okay. And then prior to...
No, you haven't told me. but because
No. I'm talking about in general. Do you and your son have a close relationship? Because the defense has called you,
okay,
hopefully, and I think he's calling you because you have a close relationship with your son.
yes, yeah.
He said he's 22 years old, so you've known him for 22 years. So what is your relationship like with him? Does he discuss with you any relationship issues he's having or any other issues he's having with his life?
No, just we talk a lot about the jobs and the school and all that, not the relationship.
All right, so my question is then, did he ever speak to you about his relationship with the complainant in this case?
No,
Did he ever ask you any advice about his relationship with the complainant in this case?
no, it just I would ask him, how was your relation? And he said it was a good relation.
Okay, all right, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you. And Your Honor, at this time I call my client, Amelia Lopez.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Amelia Lopez.
All right, you may proceed.
So Emilio, throughout this process, let me back up. So have you been working, let's talk about right before this happened. So you were going to school. What was your goal to become?
My goal was to become a firefighter, and if that didn't work out, I wanted to pursue a career in either IT or join a trade.
Okay. And you were also working at various restaurants during this period of time?
Yes.
And during this period of time, were you being promoted at these restaurants to like supervisory roles?
Yes, and Blaze Pizza, I was a supervisor now, and they were in the talks of making me assistant general manager, but I had to quit due to a toxic work environment.
Okay. And then also when you eventually worked at a barbecue restaurant and you were hired on as a management trainee, is that correct?
Yes.
But that company then failed?
Yeah, it went under.
It went under, okay. And then are you going to be able to be a firefighter now because of these charges? Is that possible for you anymore?
Unfortunately, due to my choices, those doors, they've closed.
Okay.
But whatever happens after this, my goal is to still go to college and pursue something that I can do.
Okay. And then the victim in this case, how long were you guys in a relationship for?
I believe it was 2 years, either a year and a half.
MHM, but she continued to message you during this period. This is where things get complicated. Mixed signals in relationships can blur emotional boundaries, but legally, it changes nothing. Consent today doesn't excuse trespass tomorrow.
Okay. And when this relationship ended, was that emotionally disturbing to you?
Yes, it hit hard, really badly. It was I was very distraught.
Okay. And during this time when you were distraught, at some point were you kind of off again, on again for a while?
It was only once. After the breakup, I decided to just work on myself. And I believe it was in October, she reached out to me saying that she wanted to get back with me, and I accepted.
But she continued to message you during this period of time after the breakup?
Yes.
Okay. And at this point, when you actually decided to go to her house, what was your intentions when you were going to the house?
I wanted to discuss. Again, I found out that during our relationship, our second time getting back together, she was, I guess, cheating on me. She was doing things behind my back with other people, and I felt very betrayed and just ashamed.
Okay. But the purpose in driving from her house, well, first of all, let's talk. Did you have a key to her house?
I did. When we got back together, I asked, hey, is it okay if I can stay over, find a job, earn some money, and then go back to college? Because the job in College Station, since it was near the end of the semester, a lot of students left, and there wasn't any jobs.
Mm-hmm.
to go for. So I asked her if it's okay if I can live with her.
And how long did you stay with her?
I believe it was 2 weeks.
And during that time, you got a key to her house. Is that correct?
Yes, we first discussed because I went with her to get a key, and it was at Walmart, but the key thing didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, I just went to get another one without her. She was at work.
Okay. But during that period of time, you were actually staying at the house for those 2 weeks full time.
Yes.
And was it your intention initially to stay longer than that?
By the end of I'd say like I would go home next year when my second semester started.
Okay. But initially, you were going to be there for longer than 2 weeks. Is that correct? Your plan initially was to stay there for how long?
I'd say I think I stayed there till, or
Not how long were you there? How long did you plan to be there when you were staying there?
I'd say 2-3 months.
Okay. Why did you leave after 2 weeks?
I discovered. So when we were together, we were both comfortable with each other, like taking our phones. You know, sometimes she would take my phone and just do whatever she wants with my phone. And I discovered that someone was messaging her, and I saw, and it was an unknown name.
When she saw you, she was upset. Correct. Yes. And here's the raw truth. He admits pushing her into the apartment. Whether or not he intended harm, physical force crosses a line. The law doesn't care if it was just a talk.
Okay.
And
That's why you left?
yes.
Okay.
And that's when I found out.
When you were going there, was it your intention to hurt or scare her?
No.
What was your intention when you got to the house?
Well, it was to discuss, like, as to why she did that to me, and if it was what we had, if it was genuine.
And why did you decide to do that in person or rather than over the phone?
Because in the phone, she would just not text me. She would ignore me, and I kind of I just wanted to discuss as to why she did what she did.
And how did you actually get into the apartment?
I believe she opened the door, and that's when the fight occurred.
When she saw you, she was upset, correct?
Yes,
Did she start yelling?
I believe so.
Okay. And you did push her into the apartment, correct?
Yes.
And then at some point, were you trying to hurt her at any time inside the apartment?
No.
Well, again, why were you guys were in physical contact?